Her hips cut through every rhythm of the melody with the sharpness of a knife. She served beauty, grace, and sex appeal with such confidence that he assumed her hips had devoured more than just beats. His eyes traced the angles and shapes that formed her hypnotic shape, picturing the equation of men that must have divided her, leaving the remainder for him to analyze. He never once considered that the roll in her waist and the bend in her back was learned from watching her mother gyrate to Tony one week. He figured that the motion that had his head on a swivel was intended to make him weak, so that he would crawl to her and convince her to meet him on her knees. He thought her movements were only intended to please. He couldn't imagine that her hips were passed down like fables, holding the history of a nation in the creases, and that every time she moved, she took the whole room to school, teaching them the culture of her people. See, he must not know about the Igbo. Because when she danced, she paid homage to Allah, who carries the seeds of possibility right below her waist, whose hips are the one that created the orbit of the sun used to fertilize the earth. She's the one responsible for our birth. She should be praised on, not preyed on. But see, he missed this history lesson because every time the teacher would turn around to write something on the whiteboard, he thought she was trying to tempt him. He watched as her body followed her hands across the board, only focusing on his sword used to conquer her frame, so he never heard a word. He was used to tuning out women and substituting their voice for his own. So when he approached her, he had a hard time hearing that this dance wouldn't go any further. He had already made assumptions about her. He had already made mental plans to get inside her. He was so sure that these impure thoughts would be reenacted for the entertainment of his ego. He was already planning the sequel. He had a whole script planned out and didn't even ask her if she wanted a part. He just thought that the way she moved meant many people had taken that shot, so he was lining it up, ready to knock it down. He thought he had laid the groundwork. All he had left to do was follow through. But she's not a game. The user manual is not written on the inside of her thighs. The S in her hips do not spell out a cheat code. The way she moved does not signal anything more than her joy. Her moves are not for you.